What if everything we did, private or public, was all available to anyone who had access to the internet? That is the world we live in today. With social media on the constant rise, it's almost impossible for us in the younger generations to imagine a world without it. 25% of smartphone users can't remember the last time their phone was not around them. We have all become so dependent on the internet, it's hard to imagine how the world was before this was all so easily accessible. So is this a good thing or a bad thing? A lot of people view it in different ways. Social media has given us the ability to talk to people on a regular basis from all different parts of the world. And for those of us who have relatives who travel, we don't have to worry about a long distance fee for a text or a Facebook message. It's really nice to be able to talk to people, and in a few short minutes you can say all of the things that you want in several quick messages, and you lose the awkward silences that we've all experienced with relatives on the phone. Not to mention, we don't have to worry about forgetting birthdays with the convenient Facebook reminders. So if you have internet access and forget someone's birthday, you'll have a lot more to be accountable for. Social media is great because you can talk to a lot of people in different places at the same time for as long or as short as you want. One thing that makes social media so interesting and exciting is the ability to get feedback or information within minutes. If you post a status asking people what they thought about a product or a movie, you're likely to get a lot of versatile responses. If you have a question about a random trivia question, such as where something originated, or something as simple as why we have belly buttons, people are constantly checking their news feeds and will likely have answers to everything you post, whether you ask for them or not. There are a lot of benefits to social media, which makes us glad it's so closely at our fingertips. However, there are a few downsides to social media. For example, I don't remember the last time I've talked to some of my cousins on the phone, because it's so much easier to just send them a quick message checking in. A lot of people argue that social media is taking away the intimacy and personal interactions. Another con is online dating. Although it seems simple and accurate, it's incredibly easy for people to lie about who they are to you online, and it hurts a lot of people. Not to mention, it takes away the beautifully awkward first dates that give us all butterflies. If you already know all about the person, meeting them loses a lot of its sentimental value. Another problem is the fact that your personal life is all very public these days. We face the problematic lack of privacy that allows our parents, grandparents, teachers, and even bosses to access everything we say or do online. So we have to think twice about saying something, or taking that picture, or even hanging out with that person. It really causes a lot of disputes. Little white lies have always been a little part of humanity, but in a world where everything is public, those little white lies can hurt or embarrass people. We have to put a lot more thought into the things we say because most of the time they're online and available to the public. Finally, I think social media is dangerous because the more we depend on technology to communicate, whether it makes our interactions more or less personal, will the next generations be able to live without technology if it came to that? 5-year-olds have nicer phones than I do. There are apps directed at babies and toddlers. Not to mention, how will Charlie feel when he grows up and finds out that everyone across the world knows that he bit his brother's finger? Social media is great for interacting, but it may be too great, and we may end up depending on it and lose our individuality. So is social media a good thing or a bad thing? There are definitely good views on both sides of the argument. It gives us access to a lot of information and communication that was not easily accessible before. It helps us keep in touch with people we wouldn't normally be able to, but we lose a lot of deeper personal connections, and we even lose a lot of our privacy. It's not necessarily a bad thing, as long as we keep our internet addictions in check, and remember to think twice before posting that video of you last Saturday at the bar. With social media, everything is public, and everyone can see it.